So what I would like to do is, so here's what I'm talking about is once you have this skeleton into your program, the first area that I would like to talk to you, add your code here. This is where you need to declare all your declarations of your code. If you think about it, all this time you've been doing really is what you're allocating memory. You're basically allocating, declaring, and declaring. This is an area where you can allocate, declare, and initialize memory here, basically with it. So in this particular program, it says print a line, prompt the user asking for miles. Well, when you calculate mileage and gallons of this thing, there are a couple of things you have to look at. There's actually 4 types of data types that's involved here, right? So one of them is what? Miles per gallon, right? So think about what data type you want to use for that, all right? Some precision as well. So I'd recommend a double, okay, as an MPG with it as well. So both of these, so it gives you the precision of rounding off properly with it. Gallons and miles and gallons, I recommend you to use like an int. Okay, so we can live with an int. That's a pretty good size with it. The third one is, of course, you prompt the user for, prompt the user for asking mileage. Excuse me, prompt for that. Excuse me. Excuse me. So think about how you want to walk through this program with this algorithm, with this thing. So you're prompting the user for some information, and you're going to store that into the object that you got to create up here. Of course, anything you prompt the user, you got to have the scanner class. So somewhere in the top up here, you need to import the scanner class here. All right. So inside of this thing, this is a good place to start out. Is you got to create the scanner class. So you create the scanner object here. Okay. So you create that here. Like I said, we kind of did that from the top part already with it. Now you need to prompt the user. Prompt the user to enter in the number of miles, right? As what's being stated. Read in that mile with it. So you need to be able to read in the miles, alright, and store it into an object. I recommend you to use keyboard again with it. Seems it's a good name. It's pretty universal if you want to use up there with it. So read it in, and then you prompt the user in for asking about the gallons with this thing. So I'm sorry, I skipped a step over here. Prompt the mod. Let me just do this on top of here, and you create that. Okay. Oop. That's not good. That's why I meant to do that. Okay. So prompt to use miles. Read in the miles. Prompt the. Let me do this. And all of this you can use as basically, it can be a comment of code that you would actually fit in. Space here. Oop. Okay, so do this in here. I'll let you finagle that a little bit with it as well. I just want to point out this right here. The last set of data causes the computer to divide by 100 by 0. As you know, anything divided by 0 is undefined. So what's called a runtime error. Runtime errors, there's 3 types of errors in when you actually compile. There's syntax errors, or mistakes that you make, leaving out misspelled words or semicolon. There's syntax errors. They're easy to pick up. The compiler can pick up with it. The second type of error is logical error. Logical errors you've seen, you experience, are wrong formulas. There's nothing wrong. You're telling the computer to do what it's supposed to do. So it's the hardest thing to detect is the logical error. If the formula is wrong, the workflow is wrong, anything can go wrong with it. The third type of error that I really wanted to point out here is divide by zero. And runtime error, it could be anything divided by zero. It could be a word or a letter somebody ran in. How many times have we pronounced the number 0 as the letter O, and we accidentally input in the letter O instead of the number 0? Or the number 1 we accidentally gave as a letter L. So that reading in as process is a runtime error. Dividing by 0 is undefined. So that is an unforced error of this thing. The task number 6 is pretty easy. I like for you to go in with both of these things and comment out and write out comments on the top indicating the purpose of the program. I want you to write comment lines with today's date, add comments after each declaration, and there's no such thing as over commenting. Okay, so the more comment you have, the more documentations you have, the better off you're at with this thing. So this will conclude the lab portion of Lab 2 and homework. Okay, thank you.